Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about an experience or experiences that I've had. I know this is a controversial topic, but I do believe that there is a higher being, and I also believe that when we leave the physical world, we go somewhere. So I kind of wanted to explore that. I've had some death in my family in the past couple of years, and so I just kind of wanted to explore that a little bit more, see if there were any messages, see if there was anything that I didn't know that might maybe happen in the future, or that's happened in the past. Did I have past lives? Things like that, because I don't know, it's really hard to explain, but I feel like I've had several past lives, and I just kind of wanted to explore that a little bit. So if you want to know about my experience with the medium, then keep on watching. So I've had 3 readings now, and with the medium named Heidi, and she made me feel so comfortable. I know my first reading, I was like so nervous the whole day. Like I kept looking at the clock to see what time it was. Was it time for my reading? And I was just, I don't know, I was a basket case the first time. Just because I was afraid of what I was going to hear, and I also was excited just to see like what she had to tell me and things like that. So I got a notebook and a pen, and when she called me, I just wanted to have it so I could write down every little thing that she said, and then that way if something didn't make sense to me during the reading, then I could actually reflect on it, read it, maybe ask my mom or some other family if any of this information made sense to them. And so I am so glad, and I suggest that if you do get a reading, to have a pen and paper handy, just so you can have that to reflect on after the call or after the in-person reading. I should explain that a little bit. So I've had 2 over the phone readings and 1 in-person reading. You can do either or, and it kind of makes it easier just because Heidi does not live close to me. She's like over 4 hours away from me, so having that option makes it so much easier to get the information that you're looking for. But anyways, so the first call, she kind of just goes through and explains, you know, like there's 3 different types of worlds, or spaces, I guess they're called. And she kind of explained like the whole process of like how she gets information, how she interprets it. And that just was really fascinating to me, just because I'd never heard anything like that before. I mean, I've watched like Long Island Medium and things like that, but I've never heard like the explanation of the information and such. So that was really interesting. And then we just kind of went into the reading, and she mentioned things and I would validate them. And if something didn't make sense, I would just tell her, you know, this isn't making sense to me right now, but I'm gonna write it down. So then that way I can, like I said, ask parents or family, whatever, if it makes sense to them. So I got an hour reading each time. I think she has different time frames that you can get a reading, but I've chosen an hour because I always feel like an hour is never long enough for me, just because I'm like, I want to know more. I want to know more. What else do you got? I have this question. And so I will leave a link to her Facebook page down below if you guys are interested in getting a reading as well. This is not sponsored or anything like that. I just wanted to kind of talk about my experience. So back to the first reading. A lot of things hit home. My grandmother had passed away recently when I got my first reading, and it was kind of crazy because I had been doing things and like just saying things in my head and, you know, like praying and stuff. And the fact that Heidi brought up some of those things, and they were so specific. It wasn't like, oh, you're gonna come into money, like, you know, fortune cookie type stuff. it was such specific details that I was floored. And I couldn't believe, because you know, we're all a little bit skeptical. I was skeptical. I mean, I always have believed in a higher being and things like this, but I was just like, is she really gonna know like personal things, or is it gonna be more generalized? And it was specific details, like things that I was going through in my life at that time. Like my grandma came through and validated some of those things for me, and I was just like, I was in tears. I was like trying to hold back tears. I'm trying to hold back tears now thinking about it, but it was just insane how spot on and how relevant it all was to my life. And she had mentioned some other things, and overall it was the best experience that I have had. This is the only medium or like psychic or whatever you want to call people that do these type of things that I've ever had with a medium. So after the reading, I don't even know how to explain it, but the feeling of relief and like a weight had been lifted off of me, and like the peace that I felt was unreal. It just made me so at ease, and that's why I continue to keep having them, because it's just like the best feeling to kind of get reassurance, and if you have questions, to kind of address those. I mean, I know life can change. You put out in the universe what you get back, and things like that, but for the most part, every time I've had a reading, it has just been the best experience. And I don't know if you all believe in this type of thing, or if you have ever tried it. If you have, leave comments below on what your experience was, just because I'm curious, and I'm always curious about learning anything about myself or finding myself, and you know, it's just a good feeling. So I wanted to share this with you guys today. If you're feeling like you're like in a rut, or you're lost, and I think this would be a good thing for you if you need closure on something. I had some questions surrounding like my grandmother's death and things, and this really gave me closure about it, just because I was afraid, like, did she suffer, or you know. And so hearing these things and hearing my grandmother come through was just amazing. So it's really helped me, and I know I will have more readings in the future, just because it's a once in a lifetime thing. Like, you don't, for me personally, you don't get this kind of feeling, this kind of peace from any other thing, and I absolutely love it. So like I said, I will leave her Facebook page. That's how I found her and like contacted her to get these readings, but I'll leave all of her information below so you guys can contact her if you want. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to view my little shenanigans and what I got going on every day. Please hit that subscribe button so you get my new content that comes out, and hit that notification bell, and I will see you all in my next video. Hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.